My name is Marty and this is Sewing Nerd Confessions. Today is part 5 in a series of videos that I started to showcase my creativity and how I create an upcycled jacket. This series is called Creative Upcycling. All right, so the last time we spoke, I was putting together some of the creative elements on the jacket, and I had it on my mannequin and I looked at it for about a week, and what I found was that I'm making a purple jacket, but when I looked at it, and I will pop a picture up here, when I looked at it, the front looked very rusty red. And that is not what I was going for. So I am really, really glad that I took the time to analyze the project, which is often what I do when I'm doing something creative. I don't rush it, because when you rush it, you end up not liking it. So I did sew it together, and I want to share the front of the jacket with you. So what I did, this was red, and I changed it to the purple. I'm going to call it purple. I know it's kind of a pinky purple in the corduroy. Okay, so sorry for the transition, but I just wanted to share some of the details on how I put it together. And I just wanted to show you a picture of the old setup and the new pocket. So I did change the pockets because I felt like there was too much red. So what I did was I put pieces of the corduroy together and double top stitched them. And now I'm taking a look at how I can finish off the edges. And I do want to put a little bit more red back into the pocket. And so on that edge that's gonna be the opening, I wanted to go ahead and bind that with the reddish color denim. And so I'm just kind of laying it out, seeing if it looks good. And I'm thinking about putting the purple corduroy on the bottom and on the other side there. And then I'm setting that little belt that I made. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it yet, but it's all done. And I'm just looking at that and thinking, what is it going to look like? Kind of putting it all together. Okay, so now I'm just decided that I did like what I had tried to lay out, and I'm just going to cut those and sew those on the edge. The red is going to be the part of the pocket that has an opening on the sides, so that when you're wearing the jacket, you can actually slip your hands in the side of the pocket, which I think is so comfortable. All right, so I went ahead and sewed that on, and then I sewed on the lining. And the lining, I sew on the one part only at this point, and I'm going to fold that over and just clip it together. And then I am going to sew, fold it over and sew. Now I know you can take a pocket and, right size together, which I would normally do, but this material is very thick. So I wanted to sew it in this way so that I could have a little more control over it. So I've got both of the pockets laid out. I went ahead and sewed the edge on the red side and the top, leaving the rest of the lining hanging. That is going to be covered in like a little corduroy bias, not bias, but a corduroy trim, which you will see here in a moment. Just clipping that together, and I have put a little tag on before I actually sewed the lining down. And now I'm just looking at it and trying to decide how thick to make that little corduroy. Now that part of the pocket is actually going to be very close to the edge, so I didn't make it very wide. All right, so I just let that hang down. I'm gonna put a corduroy trim on the bottom that is gonna be a little bit wider, so it didn't really have to be like a really nice finish on there. So that's what they look like so far. And I'm just trying to decide how wide I want that. It can't be too wide of a binding. And there it is, all pinned up and ready to sew. So this is how I did that. I just folded it in half and creased it. And then what I did was I just put it together on the edges. I folded that over. I know there's other ways to do it, but I didn't need to do it any fancy way because this is an upcycle project. So sometimes I take the easy way out just because the project actually takes a really long time. All right, so now there's both the pockets. I just want to look at those, make sure that the, size of it's right. And there it is, all sewn up. I've made some embroidery patches, and I will be sharing a separate video on the embroidery and how I did that. But for now, this is what I have so far. I'm laying it out and just trying to look and see where I want to place those. There's one of my pockets, and I'm doing the same thing with that, trying to decide where that pocket is going to go. I have decided to take one of those jean pockets and put it on the sleeve. And here's the other sleeve, and I've did an embroidery patch with her name on it, and I made it really large. I did that on purpose because I just wanted it to take up like a lot of the sleeve. Here is the layout so far, and I did put one of the little fun pockets on the breast pocket there, and this is what it's going to look like on the front of the jacket. Super excited now because there's a lot more purple, and I did leave a little bit of that red underneath where the pocket is on the front of the jacket. But I like the balance of it so much better, and I think it's looking really good and a little more refined. You don't get that refined look until you're almost done with the project. So if it looks a little rough, that's pretty normal. And here's the sleeves, and I frayed that. I went ahead and frayed the little edges because the customer, I asked her ahead of time if she was going to wash it. She said no, she's going to send it to the dry cleaners. If she was going to wash it, I would have left it alone and it could have frayed on its own. So on this side of the pocket, it didn't have a little coin thing. Let me pull that other one out. Okay, so like this side has the little coin pocket. So what I ended up doing was just using the very top part of that khaki jean, and I ended up just following that curve for that. And so this other side is where I decided to put some of the words that the customer has requested, and I made another little coin pocket. And so I just sewed this on the bottom. I curved that around the words, and it created another pocket, which I thought was cute. I just wanted to show you some of the details that I have accomplished since the last time we talked. I did a larger than life little sign with her name on it. I just thought it would be really fun. Now, I folded that over, and I didn't decide to do this until I was actually at the sewing machine, which happens a lot for me. I'm just like, ooh, I like that, I'm gonna do it. So I flipped it over so that you could see the wrong side of those red denim jeans. And I kind of like it because there wasn't much contrast except for the wording, and I just wanted to add a little something on that one. Now, another thing I did, and I didn't decide until I got to the machine, was I actually left this open. And I know it's in the sleeve, but it could be a pocket for something long. If you had, something, you don't want it too short because it'll get lost in the pocket, but I just thought it'd be kind of fun. And what I might do, maybe, is do like a little flap there. So, excited. I went ahead, and I didn't show you this earlier, but I'm going to show you the back. I got that put together. I've got one little tag up here, but do you see the difference? Like, this tag is really subtle, so visually it doesn't really stand out. But this one I wanted to stand out. Okay, do you see that? And then I just did top stitching on the bottom, and on the top of the tag I did a little satin stitch just to add a little something different. Okay, so I went ahead and I sewed that at the shoulder seams. I sewed the sleeves on, but they're still flat. I can still add things to them. So at this point, I want to see kind of what it's going to look like. Let's see if I can put this on so you can see. Okay, so like if you were standing back, you know, it's still very subtle. I love this sleeve. That has a nice tag on it. And it has the little pocket that's very glittery. Here is what this sleeve looks like with her name on it, which I think is super cool. I think she'll really like it. And then the back. Okay, that's what we have so far. I am gonna run and put these pockets on. They're so pretty. I really love these. They kind of look like shorts. They look like little shorts. And so I'm gonna just put those right on the front there. Look how pretty that's looking. It's looking so good. All right, and then I'm gonna make some decisions. I might do the little flap on the top of this one. I think I'll probably do that. And then I'll be back. I've sewn the front pockets on, and I gotta say, when you do that, do yourself a favor, go out, buy a brand new package of denim needles, and just think you're probably gonna use about half of it. I didn't break a needle, but it was close, and I feel like I just wrestled an alligator. The pockets are really thick. But I just went slow. Just go slow. If you break a needle, no big deal. I mean, you're in the middle of the top stitching basically, but it's okay. Just start from where you left off and it'll be okay. I'm telling myself that too. So this is what the one side looks like. That looks so good. I love it. All right, and then the hand is going to be able to go in the pocket. I stitched the pocket up here so that whatever is in the pocket won't fall out. And then I stitched it a little bit down here, but there's plenty of room. And on the inside, it's lined with that beautiful silk. So lovely. So incredibly lovely. Here's the other side. Oh, just I love these jackets. Let me put it on for you. All right. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but there we go. Put that together. Yeah, so far, this is what it looks like. And there's the back. That's gonna be lovely. Gotta put the collar on. I need to put the flap on the top of that patch if I want to before I sew it together, because it would be a real pain if I waited until afterwards. Not that it can't be done, but it's much easier. So I think for now we are going to say goodbye. Okay, so the next time we meet will be the last video in this series. I will have all the seams sewn up. I'm gonna have I'll probably have all the details done. I might show you some of the very final details, and then we will be revealing the final jacket. All right, you guys know what to do. Confess your seams down below. Bye.